Kyle Klingman with Track Wrestling alongside Andy Hamilton for our Friday wrap of 14 states on the Track Wrestling platform. You can see the map back here, but none is going to be bigger than that state right there, California. One class, 48-man brackets, and there was all kinds of great things that happened on the Friday of the California State Wrestling Championships.
Yeah, pandemonium, Kyle. Bonkers. There's some wild stuff that happened in California today in Bakersfield.
Well, the score that comes to mind is 18-15, and when I say that score, what comes to mind for you?
Pandemonium. I just said it before. That's the match that summarizes the day in California today. It was a wild match between Buchanan's Raymond Lopez and Temecula Valley's Ethan Perriman. Second period looked like the match was over. Lopez pinned him. Then they ruled that it was an illegal hold that was used. Wiped away the pin. Match continued. It was 8-5 at that point, and absolute mayhem in the third period. 16 points in the final 64 seconds. I think like 3 lead changes in there. Comes down to the wire, and Lopez gets a takedown and 3 backs in the closing seconds. Top 5 national guy survives. 18-15, moves on to the semis.
When you think about that match, you think 18-15. Of course, that's an individual match score, but 178 points for Buchanan right now, 44.5 over second place Poway, 10 in the semifinals. They're just rolling right now.
10 in the semis. Out of 48-man brackets in one classification. They're living up to the top 5 national ranking. Incredible tournament thus far, and that's without Carlos Negrete making the semis. He was bumped out in the quarters by Laz Maldonado of Clovis West in one of the upsets of the day. 2 top 10 national guys went down in the quarters in California. It's one of the few states where you're going to see something like that happen.
There is a potential 4-time state champion hopeful in Jesse Vasquez. He didn't spend too much time in his first 2 matches. A couple 11-second falls, then a 6-1 decision, but don't see anything derailing him at this point, but we've seen strange things happen before.
He's looking really good. Looking really good thus far, in complete control, but he's also got another top 10 national guy on the bottom side of that bracket looming, potentially. Aaron Gandara on the bottom half there at 45 with that could be one to watch in Saturday's finals. Up and down the lineup, you're going to see some great matchups in California in the finals, but that one in particular would be one of the highlights.
Just as a refresher, when you have 48-man brackets, when you have a loaded state like California, you have the potential for some nationally ranked guys in the same weight class, and that's happened here. Let's start with 152. You have number 1 Chase Saldate, 4 falls at 152 on his way to the semis, but on the opposite side, a couple tough guys there too.
Yeah, 2 of the top 11 in the national rankings. Number 6, Sonny Santiago. Tyler Badgett, number 11. They're going to go at it in the semifinals. Santiago, a returning state champ, a guy who's ranked number 1 in the nation at the start of the season. And Badgett has been inside the top 20 the past 2 years. He's bounced in and out and really having a strong season this year. So that's certainly the match that we're going to have our eyes on in the semifinals. One of. There are several, but that's probably at the top of the list for the semifinals.
You think 3's a lot? How about go to 106 where there's 4 nationally ranked guys? That's going to be bonkers too.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Lopez surviving in the quarters against Perriman, but right above him on the bottom side of the bracket, the other national top 10 guy that we had our eyes on, Michael Torres. He got knocked off 3-2 on a takedown in the final minute by Dominic Mendez of Rigetti. That was, I mentioned Negrete. He was one of the top 10 guys to fall. Torres was the other.
And then 113, you have number 1 Richie Figueroa, number 3 Joey Cruz, and then number 19 Jack Giaffre, all in the same weight class. We'll see what happens there. Right now we have Giaffre and Cruz going at it in the semifinals. Figueroa's on the top side, but another one of those where you just can't wait to see because it has that national flavor to it. And 113 is going to be another one of those weight classes with California you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I can't wait for the semis. I cannot wait for the semis, and we're going to say that about a lot of states coming up. It's going to be a fun Saturday.
Before we get to other states, make sure, is there anything else in California we need to hit on before we move to Minnesota?
I think we've done a pretty good job of covering the major points out of Friday. Thursday and Friday, California. It's been a great tournament thus far. We've just seen so much incredible wrestling up to this point. It feels like we've already seen a full state tournament worth of highlight-worthy material, but we got one more full day of it to go, and semis and finals are going to be awesome to watch.
Minnesota loves wrestling. It's fun to watch on the track wrestling platform to just see the crowd in Minnesota. They really get into it. Nice venue there. But one of the guys that I know that they want to see compete is Patrick Kennedy. 2 pins in Class 2A. He's in the semis at 182. He's going to be a Hawkeye. He's one of those guys that really fits the mold.
Absolutely. He's so aggressive, strong, physical. He's a prototype for what I was looking for, and he's going to go for his 4th state title on Saturday. He's got to get to the finals first. He'll have a semifinal match, but that's one you're going to want to watch in the semis and then potentially Saturday night as he pursues history up in Minnesota.
We mentioned that California 106 is bonkers. I think Minnesota might be just as crazy for what might happen there in the semis.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. You got 4 guys that have gone back and forth this season, kind of A beat B, B beat C, C beat D, D beat A type of deal. That those 4 combined, Jory Volk, who's national number 11, Zachary Silvis, Coy Biskins, and 7th grader Landon Robideau, combined they're 184-10 this season. 7 of the 10 losses have come against fellow semifinalists. So got Volk versus Silvis on the top, Biskins and Robideau on the bottom. Can't wait to see how that one unfolds.
Good thing that there's a time difference between Minnesota and California. You get a chance to watch both those on track wrestling. And interesting thing about Minnesota, every state, as we've mentioned, has its own unique dynamic. You can have 7th graders wrestling all the way through seniors in high school, but there's a stud 8th grader right now in Minnesota.
Yeah, Pearson Manville was a champ last year as a 7th grader. He's up at 126 pounds, and that's shaping up to potentially be one of the Saturday night finals that we're going to have our eye on. It'll be circled on our list of matches to watch. Pearson Manville could run into Derek Cardinal, a 2-time state champ who's undefeated on the top side, nationally ranked. They had a couple matches earlier this year. One was a 5-4 match, I believe. It was a 1-point match, either 5-4, 6-5. The other match ended in injury time expiration for Manville. So Cardinal comes in undefeated. Look for that one as a one to watch on Saturday night if both guys take care of business in the semifinals.
And then again, unique in Minnesota where they have team champion comes through the dual meet format and they do not keep score with the individual tournament. So some interesting dynamics there. But let's go to Oklahoma, a tradition-rich state with a tradition that is piling up a lot of points. Tuttle, 191.5 points and 11 finalists. You just got to let that soak in for a minute. That's unbelievable.
It would be more unbelievable if they hadn't done it last year, too. That the type of numbers they put up this year are very similar to the ones they put up a year ago. You mentioned 11 finalists. They're 26-3 in the tournament up to this point. Put up similar type of numbers a year ago. I think 230-ish points. But this team looks like it has the potential to eclipse that number.
And they're missing, arguably, their best wrestler.
Yeah, this is without Dustin Plott, who started the season ranked number 1 nationally. We just never got to see him this season. Dealt with some injuries, a preseason surgery, and so he's one of the top probably 3 pound-for-pound guys in the 2020 class heading off to Oklahoma State, and just a testament to the strength of Tuttle's program top to bottom that you can lose one of the national number 1 guys and you don't skip a beat.
Cadet world teamer in Tate Picklo. He's rolling right now. He has a couple falls, so he's going to be in the finals for Mustang. Team race 5A, Collinsville is cruising in Class 5A up by 47 points going into Saturday. And then 6A, Broken Arrow up 18 on Mustang going into Saturday. Let's go over to Wisconsin. We have a number 1, Keegan O'Toole, pinned his way into the finals, looking to become the 18th 4-timer in Wisconsin history. And again, one of those guys, when you're able to get nationally number 1 ranked, they're number 1 for a reason, and Keegan O'Toole keeps proving himself. as one of the best in the country.
No doubt. So good in so many different positions. And as you mentioned, he's chasing history. Missouri is certainly getting a really, really top-notch wrestler in Keegan O'Toole.
New York has a couple highlight machines. They're lightweights. Greg Diakomihalis, younger brother of Yanni Diakomihalis, already a two-time NCAA champion for Cornell, has 2 more cracks at it. Could be a 4-timer, but Greg Diakomihalis could be a 5-timer in New York.
Yeah, he's 2 matches away. He's trying to become the 4th 5-time state champ in New York history. His brother Yanni won 4 state titles and then was injured his senior season, didn't get to compete in the state tournament, but Greg looking to top his big brother and certainly off to a good start with tech and a pin on his way to the semis.
Steve O'Poulin doesn't have a mohawk anymore, but he is mowing down the competition right now. Major and pin into the semis at 113 pounds. And kind of what you'd expect from Steve O'Poulin. Just a great performance and looks good doing it, and expect him to be in the finals.
Yeah, and the thing that's interesting about this, we're talking about Diakomihalis at Hilton and Shenendehowa's Steve O'Poulin. Those are the teams that are 1-2 right now in the standings going into Saturday in Division 1. So that adds another element to what these guys are pursuing on Saturday.
Kansas has a big hoss.
Definitely a big hoss.
This guy is good. Kyle Haas, 3 first-period pins, but they're not just pins. These are absolute maulings. He looks so good right now, and
so strong, so focused, so energized.
I agree with that. And this guy is really showing why he's going to be so special in college. And he might have a tough guy in the finals, though.
Yeah, it's a showdown of 2 guys ranked in the top 6 nationally at 220 pounds. Of course, Kyle Haas ranked number 2, headed off to Oklahoma State, and then Cade Lott on the other side, ranked number 6, North Carolina recruit. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be, we mentioned some of the matches that we're going to really be circling and highlighting for Saturday night. That one's going to be right near the top of the list.
We love history, too. Kansas has the first girls state tournament. We love it when we get to say sanctioned girls wrestling, and that's going on right now. Sarah Lake scored a fall in the finals at 136 to finish the season undefeated, becoming the first girl in Kansas history to win a state title. So congratulations to her. And then let's go out to Oregon. Roseburg's 6-year string of state titles in Class 6A is in jeopardy. Newburgh leads Roseburg heading into Saturday. And then in Class 5A, Crescent Valley leads by 4.5 points over second-place Crook County. Nationally ranked Gabe Weisenhunt, Chance Lamer, Santos Cantu have each posted 2 pins for Crescent Valley. That's our wrap for right now. There's a lot there, but as you can see the map, there's so much that you're going to want to watch on Saturday. This is maybe the biggest day of state wrestling championship that we have on the track wrestling platform. Last Saturday was good, but there's going to be so much you get to watch this weekend.
No doubt. Plus, we haven't even mentioned Michigan, Illinois.
Yeah.
Team dual championships will be decided Saturday in those 2 states. That's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to another wild Saturday night of state championship matches and incredible team drama as well.
Can't wait to give you the wrap on what happened on Saturday. Be sure to tune in 14 states on the track wrestling platform. We'll see you tomorrow.